Sorry for the late start. Had some serious technical issues. Had some serious technical difficulties. Started, but we are live. We are live. Sorry about the late start. We're gonna get started. Y'all said y'all wanted to show up. Y'all wanted to do the show. So let's get started. Let's get started. We got Rocket. We got Rafa. We got a bunch of people in the chat. Hang on one second. Let me get one other thing set up and we will get started in just a minute. Again, I apologize for this. Had a ton of technical difficulties. I had to restart my whole computer. I gotta get one other thing set up on this. But we got a good week. There's a lot of good fights that we can make money on. I just got some props that dropped. I'm going to address those in the Patreon. So if you guys are not Patreons, join the Patreon. And we'll get you the updated props. There's a ton of good props that just dropped today on DraftKings that I wanted to go over with y'all. A lot of good props. There's some good money to be made. Some odds I really like a lot. And there's a Zapata fight. The props on a knockout are spectacular. I want to look at that. I want to look at props on a Shakur Stevenson stoppage. All right, where am I at? I'm losing my brain here. All right, and we're back up. All right, got everything settled up. But we hit the like, y'all. Hit the like, y'all. We got Rafa, we got Rocket, we got who else we got here? We got Nate, my boy Nate. All right, let's get started. We got a good show today. Let me pull up the odds again. My brain's not working. Too many hits to the head is right. There's some interesting parlays. Let me get my parlay calculator up. I literally had to reset everything. All right, let me free play. All right. Does anyone know like how to really hit them likes, y'all? Rocket's got a great idea. Hit them likes, y'all. Y'all should hit the like button. That would be a great idea. Rocket hit that one on the head. So I want to first let me get the odds up. Let me get the DraftKings up. I know some of y'all use different books, which is cool. But I'm gonna use DraftKings because that's what I always use because they pay me to use DraftKings. All right. Some of these odds are outrageous, but this is what I wanted to get into. No props on that. Rocket, can you tell me if Hard Knocks has an over-under or to go the distance prop on Johnny Fisher and Alan Babbage? I'd be interested to see what that is. But here's something that I love, right? Shakur Stevenson, -3. That is all over the place, his line. Shakur by KO, TKO, DQ, -135. I like that bet a lot. I do think Shakur is going to stop, and that's been moving too. That was -105 earlier. At -135, I still like Shakur by TKO. I still think that's a good bet. Shakur by stoppage. I like that at -135. Another bet I like, I'm going to have some of y'all parlay this, is Alex Martin on the money line, -155. Alex Martin is such an underrated fighter. He is such an underrated fighter. I really, really, really like Alex Martin over Pedro Campa. So that's -155. That's pretty good odds, right? So a $100 bet on that is going to make you about $45. It's good odds on that. It's a nice little bet to parlay. Oh, Shaki Forster -220. Now here's what I like a lot, and I'm gonna have someone parlay this for me. Someone calculate that for me. Zapata by stoppage is at -220. I like that a lot. I think there's -220. I think this is almost a certainty that Zepeda stops Cabrera at some point. Zepeda's been stopping everyone. He's a savage. Cabrera is fairly athletic and has decent movement, but he's there to be hit. He lunges in and out. He's not good off the back foot, although he fought Pitbull that way. It's not his strength. He's better coming forward. If he comes forward, he's going to get stopped. If he goes backwards, he's not very good at going backwards. He's going to get stopped. So I love this. I love this at minus 220. I think that's a great bet. But do this for me. So I'll parlay it. I'll share my. And then another fight I like a lot. Kazioka on the money line minus 165. Kazioka just beat Josh Franco. Not just beat him a year ago. He's going to beat Fernando Martinez. He's such a better, more skilled, more competent boxer than Martinez. Ioka's going to win that fight. That's at minus 165. That's technically tomorrow morning, but it's the overnight. It's the overnight. I definitely think he's going to win that. That's Sunday morning. I mean, that's Sunday morning. That's how you want to look at that. This one, Danny Jacobs and Shane Mosley Jr. Boy, this line is changing. Danny Jacobs was minus 115 yesterday. Now he's plus 105, so this is swinging a bit. I'd stay off of that. I'd stay off of William Foster. That's a 50-50 fight. I'd stay away from those two unless you have a real good feeling about one. Kelvin Davis, I think, will get a bogus decision. I don't love the odds. I think that's far too wide on a much closer fight, but I think Kelvin Davis by travesty is a possibility in that fight. Here's what I'm talking about. Ernest Garcia got stopped brutally in one round. Ernest Garcia is an excellent fighter. William Foster is a really, really, really excellent fighter. I do like William Foster in this fight, but I think Ernest Garcia is being slept on because he got caught on a showbox card with one shot. I think he's better than that. Although I do like William Foster to win this fight. I definitely like Foster to win this fight. So that's an interesting bet as well. I'd probably stay away from this one. Minus 205. I don't love those odds. For the same money, basically, you can get Oshaki Foster at minus 220. There's not a whole lot of difference. Someone parlay this for me. Oshaki is minus 220. Then Zepeda on by stoppage was minus 220. And then Ioka is minus 160. You guys want a parlay that really pays? You want a parlay that really, really pays? I'm going to give you a 3-leg and a 2-leg parlay that pays really, really well. 3-leg parlay. Ready? Williams Zepeda by stoppage. Oshaki Foster on the money line. Kazioka on the money line. Minus 220, minus 220, minus 160. Total parlay odds 144. $100 bet is going to make you $245. How's that? Not bad, right? If you want something even safer, I would say take that out. Plus 136. 2-leg parlay. Oshaki Foster, Kazioka on the money line. Minus 220, minus 160. Total parlay odds plus 136. That's paying positive money. Oshaki and Kazioka. I think that is a steal. I think that is an absolute 100% steal. Plus 136. Oshaki, Kazioka, minus 220, plus 160. I absolutely love the odds on that. It pays plus 136. This is how you bring down the house. I have no idea why that would be positive money. I don't know why they have the Ioka fight that close, but Ioka's going to win that fight. He wins, Oshaki wins, bang, plus 136. Rockets always got the craziest parlays. I love Rockets parlays. Rocket, what are we looking at this week? What are you looking at this week? Let's go, bro. Vulcan, I want to hit for this. I want to hit for you this week. Have you joined the Patreon? Are you up in the Patreon? I just released the lock of the week in the Patreon. Guys, join the Patreon. It's $5 a month. Check out the Check out the odds on this month's Patreon. On this week's lock. $5 a month. Check out the lock. It's just easy money. This is getting easy. Let's go. What are you thinking, Volkan? I know you said it's not finalized, but what are you thinking? What are you flirting with? Rocket, I have Shakur plus 140. Okay. By stoppage in the second half of the fight. Keyshawn Davis, stoppage 9 and 10 at plus 550. All right. I love the first half of that. I do think Shakur by second half stoppage is what we're going to get. My guess is 8 or 9. So I love that bet. And Keyshawn, so you need Keyshawn to come through 9 and 10. It's a scheduled 10 rounder. I don't hate that. I really, for those odds, I love it. But I really, really, really don't hate those odds. Those are good odds. Plus 550 on that. I mean, I get, I like it. That's a reasonable Rocket bet. Rocket really likes to put his balls on the table. He really likes to roll the dice, which I'm down with. But this is like reasonable. If you said Davis by 9th round stoppage and Shakur by 9th round stoppage, I would say, yeah, that's reasonable. That sounds good. Now, does it hit? I don't know. I mean, maybe it hits, maybe it doesn't. I don't know. But both those bets, I would say, are good bets. Specifically, Keyshawn Davis paying plus 550 to get a stoppage in 9 or 10. Yeah, that's a good bet, man. Like, I would say that's got a 50-50 chance of hitting. And if it's got a 50-50 chance of hitting and it's paying plus 550, bet the house on it, man. Like, bet the house on it. Like, would anyone be surprised here if Keyshawn won by 9th round stoppage? Not at all. It's kind of my pick. Is Keyshawn by 9th round stoppage. But we got a lot. We got a lot this week. We got a lot of good bets to make this week. I love Oshaki on the money line. I also props to go the distance. Oshaki to go the distance. I think that is a great bet. Oshaki Foster and Robson Conceição. Conceição went the distance. Conceição's got a heart. Conceição's got a granite chin. Conceição's going to go the distance, I would think. That's a bet I like a lot. Conceição to go the distance at minus 390 is a great little bet to add to your parlay. I would almost guarantee that fight goes the distance. Rocket wants to know about Levi Giles. This is not a fight I've looked into. Levi Giles, again, typical British fighter, fighting Reese Bellotti. Here's my thoughts on this fight. Both fighters suck. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. Both fighters suck. The odds on Giles were pretty good. Let me see what he's at now. I checked earlier. Is there a prop for it to go the distance? Because I would take that. Let me try to find. We try to find the props on that. We want Levi Giles on a money line. Here it is. He's at plus 330. Why would Reese Bellotti be there's no props. Rocket, do you have props on that on Hard Rock? Because I'd be no props. Look, it's not I don't understand why Reese Bellotti, who sucks, would be minus 475 against anyone. If he was fighting my mom, I wouldn't make him minus 475. He's not good. I know there's some people out there, and he stopped Fiaz, which was interesting. And then he beat Liam Dillon. He sucks. He lost to Yusuf Kamari. He got dog walked and stopped by Raymond Ford. He got dog walked by Jordan Gill. He lost to an Italian named Francisco Grandelli. He sucks. Do you have an over-under on that? Do you have an over-under on that? Vulcan? That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. Would I be interested in seeing the over under? I like that fight to go the over. Plus 615, 118, 132 props. He's probably not going to win. Like, honestly, he's probably, Bellotti probably wins this fight. The odds are kind of sexy. I like the fight to go the distance. If you can get a reasonable prop bet on the over or for the fight to go the distance, I'd probably take that. I'd probably take it to go the over. Over is over 10.5 is minus 170. I don't think that's a bad bet. I think I like the over in this fight. Vulcan, shout out to Vulcan. Good looks, Vulcan. Minus 170 between. Again, I know Bellotti's got a very good KO percentage. What's Bellotti's KO percentage? He's got 14 knockouts and 18 wins. It's good. It's good. So, and then he's been stopped too. You know, he doesn't typically go. So, he's only been the distance for 7 times. But I think this will be 8. This is a fight I feel goes the distance. I would take the over on that. I would take the over at minus 170. I think that's a really good bet. I think it's definitely. And Levi Giles goes the distance. Levi Giles is a guy who's fought 16 times and he's gone the distance in 12 of those fights. He hasn't not the distance since Ruslan Berchek, and that guy was 14 and 18. Other than that, he goes the distance. So even in his loss to Michael Gomez, he went the distance. He goes the distance. This is what it is. I expect him, I don't think Bellotti's going to be able to track him down and kill him. I don't think Bellotti's a great pressure fighter. I don't think Bellotti's got huge power. So that's a fight I would definitely say goes the distance. Or like minus 180. It's 158. All right. I mean, it doesn't. Sure. All right. I appreciate that. Hey, Vulcan, where are you from, my man? Vulcan Arctic. Where are you from? Are you from the States or are you from somewhere else? Either way, minus 180, minus 170. I think that's a pretty good lock to go the distance. I would I bet my money on that. But like the parlay that I really, really like is that 3-leg parlay with Zepeda by stoppage. And then Forster and Ioka on a money line. Because of Danny Jacobs, like if this was Danny Jacobs from a couple of years ago, I would take Danny Jacobs. Danny Jacobs is old. He hasn't looked good as of late, and he's only fought like twice in 4.5 years. I would probably just stay away from it. I've gone back and forth on this. Probably Mosley is my guess, I guess. I just hate Jacobs' inactivity. Jacobs is a much better fighter, but he's 37. He's inactive. I would stay away from Danny Jacobs versus Shane Mosley Jr. I would just not. There's better bets that we can make than Shane Mosley versus Danny Jacobs. You dig? Like, I'm not betting on that. From the Netherlands, but I'm Turkish. What is the language they speak in Netherlands? I know they speak a lot of English, but what's like the native language in Netherlands? Is it Dutch? Is that what they speak? Rocket says, I say Shane because of activity. Yeah, that's kind of my guess, Rocket. I would take Shane by decision, I guess. I'm just like, but Jacobs is much better than him. Jacobs is when Jacobs was at his peak, which obviously he's not. He's a whole nother level than Shane Mosley Jr., but he's not there. So I would say stay away from that fight. Stay away from it. It's just the inactivity from Jacobs really makes me question. What if Jacob goes in there and the inactivity did him well and he goes in there and looks great? What if he goes in there and looks 300 years old? It's just hard to tell. William Foster versus Ernest Garcia. I like William Foster in this fight. But I'm telling you right now, Ernest Garcia is underrated. Ernest Garcia could win. I think Foster is a master boxer and Foster will win. But I don't love the odds. I think this fight is a lot closer than the odds give it. Like we were just looking at that. I would say I would stay off that fight. I like Foster to win. But at minus 205, it's not great odds on a 50-50 fight. It's Dutch. I thought so. So if you want my advice, I do think Foster wins the decision. I think Forster outboxes him. I think Forster wins the decision. But Ernest Garcia is trained with Bobby Benton and those guys. He trains in Houston. He's a really good fighter. He's had a bad break there, a couple months ago on the Showbox card. Well, I guess it was a year ago. I like Ernest Garcia. I just think Forster's a little better. I don't love the odds on that fight, but I do think Forster would win. It's Dutch. See, Alex Martin. I love the odds on that. Martin by decision. I think is a Martin by decision. I think is a great bet. I definitely think Alex Martin beats Pedro Campa for sure. So I like Alex Martin in that. Yeah, I do. I do. I think Oshaki Forster is the much safer Forster to bet on. Look, if you wanted to, I do think William Forster is going to win the fight. William Forster has great skills. He comes from a great camp. He comes from a fighting family. He's a mover with decent pop. I do think Forster wins the fight. I do think William Forster wins the fight. I'm completely confident Oshaki wins the fight. But William Forster is a good boxer, and he should win. Do me a favor. What are the parlay odds on that? It's minus 220 and minus 205, right? I want to see what the parlay is if we parlayed that. It's plus 116. Vulcan, if you want to do a 2-leg parlay with the two Forster boys on the money line, it pays pretty nice money. It pays positive money. It's not a bad bet. Forster and Forster on the money line. Pays plus 116. All right, hang on. I gotta let my dog in. Hang on. I got this big fat lazy dog who is barking at the neighbor's dog, and they're going back and forth like they're gonna do something. This dog I have, she's not doing anything. She's not fighting anybody. Hey, Cannoli, it's my dog. She's not fighting some other dog. All right, plus 110. I got plus 116. I also like Alex Martin. Want to throw Alex Martin? You want to throw Alex Martin in a parlay? I like that. I really like Alex Martin. You want to put Alex Martin or Shaki Forster? Alex Martin, Williams Zepeda. But my lock to you guys, something I want to share with you guys, I like a lot, is Kaz Ioko, Oshaki Forster, Williams Zepeda on the money line. I think that's at plus 224, definitely worth the gamble. That juice is definitely worth the squeeze there. There's a lot of permutations, a lot of combinations of bets that we can make that will work, that are good. It's a good money making week. If I could advise you to take one parlay besides my lock of the week, which you can get on Patreon, I'm gonna put the link. I'm gonna put the link in the chat. Join the Patreon. It's $5 a month. It gets you the lock of the week. It gets you the updated props, which we're gonna do now. I would say Oshaki Forster on a money line, Kazaoka on a money line, Williams Zepeda by stoppage. I think that is a super attractive parlay at plus 224 if it hits. It's a great parlay. It's plus 224. It's nice money, and I think it's relatively safe. Each bet there, I think is super safe. All right, it's 4th of July here in the United States. I appreciate y'all dropping by. Vulcan, I know you're from the Netherlands, so it's not 4th of July for you, but it's 4th of July for us in America. I'm going to wrap this up sooner rather than later, unless you guys have any last minute thoughts, comments, concerns, questions, anything like that. Of course, if you have any super chats, drop the super chats, drop the questions, drop the comments, anything like that. If you have any last minute questions, comments, concerns, anything you want me to address, any bets you want me to look at. But other bets I like, I really, really, really do like Alex Martin at minus 150. I think he's a lock against Pedro Campa. It's a bet I like a lot. I like Johnny Fisher, obviously, against Babbage. I like him to stop Babbage, depending on what those odds are. I would stay away from Calvin Davis and Kevin Johnson. I think minus 450 on that is ridiculous. If you want to roll a dice, you can get Kevin Johnson at plus 320. But I think he's going to lose by top ranked decision. Honestly, I do. You don't get points for picking the guy who was robbed. Boom. Keyshawn Davis, Danny Jacobs. I'll share this with you. We'll go through the bets together one more time, and then we'll wrap it up. Mr. Courtney. Kelvin Davis versus Kevin Johnson. Kevin Johnson is good. Kevin Johnson is good. He could win. I just feel like if he does win, he's going to get robbed. So Kelvin Davis by decision, I guess. Like Kelvin Davis by egregious decision might be the right answer here. Just putting that out there. He's going to get the decision if it goes that way. He's going to get the top ranked decision. All right, bro. Masvidal and Diaz. That's not my thing. Sorry about that. I mean, that's not my area. Giovanni got a split decision loss against Pitbull. He's never been KO'd. Will Zepeda really? I'm really confident he gets to KO. Look, I've done a lot of tape on this. So William Zepeda is much better at cutting off the ring. He's a much better jabber, and he's much better in the long range. I'm not saying that's his strength. He's much better at it than Pitbull is. Pitbull is a Pitbull, right? He's on you. Zepeda is better at cutting off the ring. He's better at keeping the distance. He's better at range, and he's better at closing the distance. And he throws a lot more punches. He's better across the board. Yes, I do. I think that there's a big three of lightweights. I think it's Shakur, I think it's Tank, and I think it's William Zepeda. I think William Zepeda is that dude. I think he gets in, and I think he stops Giovanni Cabrera. Oh, Macy Rose Courtney. I hadn't watched the tape on that. Did DraftKings even have that? I think it did. I hadn't looked at the tape on Macy. Let me see if I can find the odds on it. These women's fights are hard. I mean, probably. I'm looking at her opponent now. Probably. I mean, it's not something I feel totally confident giving you advice on. I didn't watch the tape on it, but I mean, she's the talent prospect. I'm sure they'll get her a win. There you go, Patrick. Vulcan's got the inside information for you there. He's got Maziev by decision, but not a confident play. They're both washed. Hit the like, y'all. Hit the like. No props. I will take that over once it drops. What are the? I'm sorry, Rocket. The odds on Macy Rose. Macy Rose was minus 425. Well, I try to do them. I Red Gear. I drop a video on every big fight. I try to go live Monday through Friday. But like this week, I'm going tomorrow. I won't be live because I'm going out to Newark for the Shakur Stevenson fight. Red Gear. Um, but Monday through Friday is the plan. I try to go live every day, and then Saturday, I'll go live after the fight, and we'll do a live reaction to the fights. But for the gambling advice, I try to pick a fight that I really like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then Friday, I kind of review it and say, here are your best parlays. Here are your best prop bets. Here are the fights that I like the best. So I try to go live every day. But like I said, last week I was at BAM. This week I'm at Shakur. I should be home for a while, so I'm going to try to go live pretty much every day. Thanks for the breakdown. See you soon, bro. I appreciate it, Vulcan. I'm going to wrap it up. You guys get any last minute super chats, thoughts, questions, comments, concerns at the buzzer? Drop them now or forever hold your peace. Join the Patreon. Link is in the description. Please hit the like button on your way out. It is July 4th. Happy birthday, America. From Texas to the world, thank you and God bless.